we are recording.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, let's start it up. Oh. Hey, everyone. There go. Excellent.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new episode of Behind the Studs.
Behind the Studs.
I'm Colin, joined by my good buddy Jimmy Driscoll.
Jimmy D.
Jimmy D.
Hello, everybody.
So we had a great feedback for our last episode. We had Sheila Myers in. She was awesome.
Yes, she was.
Interior decorator, not designer, decorator.
Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you, Sheila. We had a great time with her.
Yep.
So hopefully everybody gets to check her out. Her email address and stuff is still up on our Facebook page and website.
Awesome.
Yeah. So some other news here. We're now on Twitter.
We're on Twitter.
We're on Twitter. Yep. So we're growing. And also this, I have no idea what this means, but we're also on Castbox and Podchaser.
How did you find that out?
Marissa.
Oh, Marissa. Thank you, Marissa.
Yeah, she put us out there.
So we can Twitter Trump now, huh? We can go.
Oh, we could.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know how to do the all caps button, but
yeah,
he's better at that than I am.
I'd ask him.
Yeah.
How do we do the caps?
Right. And then also, we're going to be soon on TuneIn.
Tune in.
TuneIn. So,
Oh my God.
I
Tune
really
in.
don't know what any of that means.
Oh.
I know what iTunes is.
Two old crotchety guys. Well, tune in. Tuna melt. No, tune in. Oh my God.
All right, so today we're going to talk about injuries.
Injuries, yes we are. I did a little research this week
Nice.
because construction workers and people, and it's all basically all meshes into one.
Yeah.
So I just went on Google a little bit and did some research.
Yeah, what'd you find?
Well, here's what I found out. So when I looked up on either fatalities or injuries in the workplace in construction, it only pulled up to 2016. 2017 has not been, I didn't find 2017. However, in 2016, 5,190 workers were killed in the United States.
Wow.
That's a pretty big number.
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it growing, did you see? Was there a trend?
Well, I'm sure it is. Yeah, actually there is a graph, but
Yeah.
the graph that I did see, which I'll talk about a little bit later on, was with the pneumatic nail guns.
Ooh, yeah.
And there was a spike in that, and I'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
But so the leading causes for either for deaths in construction, and this includes homeowners also. This is just not basically on the workplace, like a construction site.
Yeah.
The leading causes for deaths are, number one is falls.
Okay.
So we were going to say like ladders and things like
Right,
that.
right.
Buildings, falling off buildings. Struck by an object.
Really?
Yeah. That basically, struck by an object, usually that's construction.
Okay.
That's walking in a flagged area where you're not supposed to, or something falls.
Yeah. No
from
hard
very high
hit.
to hard hit, yeah.
Yeah.
And then caught in between, that's usually construction. And
That sounds horrible.
and it is because I have a friend of mine who did see something like that. It was a union worker. He's retired now, and he saw something, and it was pretty gross and graphic, and it was pretty upsetting.
Yeah.
And the last one is electrocution.
Ooh.
So those are the four major causes of death in this workplace that we do. So another thing is they also talked about what are the basic other things that can cause either injury or something like that and I can testify to two of them. They both
Not
have
the last four.
They both no. But the one of them is like injuries for hands and and fingers and stuff like that is the miter saw. Oh. Miter saw is number one.
Wow.
And those are the ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what that is, now miter saw is what you cut trim with. It's a power saw. It's on a stand usually. Yeah. And that was part of my injury was the miter saw, and I'll get into that in a minute. And right under that, which the two go in hand, and how it happened to me was fatigue.
Oh.
I was exhausted. I was tired. It was my last board of the day. It was a 12-foot 2x4, and I was
Uh-huh.
cutting it on the ground. It wasn't on a stand, and
Yeah.
it wasn't against the strike plate,
Ah.
and it slammed up into the saw,
Oh,
broke the cover of the saw off, hit me in the finger,
wow.
and I ended up with 17 stitches.
Oh my God.
10 stitches on the inside internally because it severed a tendon, and then the rest were on the
Was that on
outside.
your hand or your
It
arm?
was on my finger.
Oh, on your finger,
It
yeah.
was on my right finger,
Huh.
and it didn't even hurt, believe it or not,
Wow.
because the nerve endings on your finger are only at the top. Once you go deep, it doesn't hurt. It did hurt like hell that night, I'll tell you right now. When they sewed it all up, my hand was doing the carumba.
Does turmeric help with that?
No, nothing, no.
James,
No,
I guess.
no, Jay Ball. Oh my God. Oh,
Do you remember the guy that used to work with us that always said he was better when he was tired? He worked better when he was tired.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then he was using the table saw,
Oh, yeah.
and the thing just shot back.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
It drops
I'm
down.
better when I'm tired.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
No, he was using table saw. I was
Right.
like, I'm feeling pretty good about using this. And we're like both at the same time, no, never feel comfortable with a table saw. Oh, 15 minutes later, zzz, bam! Oh!
Yeah,
I was like, get the Band-Aid! And the board slapped back and hit him right in the crotch.
just right above, actually.
Yeah. Almost took out his
He's
manhood.
got 3 kids now, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he's all right. Just woke him up a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, work much better when you're tired.
Sure you did.
Who needs coffee when you can slam a board from a table saw you've got?
I guess that does wake you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another part of how it ties in with injuries is another thing, goggles, which is a really good part. Which I'm a stickler about that. In anything I do, I always have safety glasses on.
Yeah, smart.
And let's just go with this adage: doesn't matter how strong you are, you could be a powerhouse, but a grain of sand can bring you to your knees.
Sure,
You
absolutely.
know what I mean? And
Some
many
guys
times,
get like slivers in their eye.
yeah.
They have to go to the
Yeah.
emergency room, get it taken out. I mean, it's painful.
When I was putting in replacement windows when I was living in Mass Queens, I got a glass sliver in my eye,
Ooh.
and it was because it was broken glass, and
Yeah.
I didn't have glasses on them, and that hurt like a son of a bitch.
That bad.
Yeah, because I had to go to see an eye doctor, and they got it out. But
Wow.
yeah, your eyes, you only got 2 of them. That's it.
Yep.
So wear goggles, very very important. This isn't just construction, guys. This is basic to the homeowner.
Yeah, I think you're what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the average Joe.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
or the average Jane.
Right.
It's so important to do that.
Well, you hope on a construction site there's a foreman or somebody that's telling everybody what to do, you know, to be safe.
Yeah, which
the
is big.
homeowner, they're just kind of winging it. You know?
Yeah.
You don't always see, you know, all the protection stuff on HGTV that they should be doing. And
Exactly.
Stuff. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
And even wearing dust masks and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which is very important. And, you know, earplugs, homeowners, it wasn't going to be an earplug, but, you know, if you've been doing it for a long, long, long time, yeah, you start to lose hearing. I wear earplugs all the time. Even in rock and roll, I wore them, and I still wear them. And my hearing is still good, believe it or not. So, what? Huh? Another problem is people do is they will disable safety mechanisms. And that goes disable safety mechanisms on power tools, and going around them, and that leads to one item in which we'll talk about a little bit on those pneumatic nail guns. Because they don't like the new triggers now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just you're playing with death.
Right.
You are. And the other one is ricochet. Ricochet. You get ricocheted off something. And that leads to me about how I got hit with a nail gun on a ricochet.
Huh.
So way back in the day, when I moved to beautiful Connecticut, the nutmeg state, I was working with a bunch of nutmegs. I swear to God. So I'm working out in Rhode Island. I'm learning how to frame. Actually, I'm learning how not to frame. Really, honestly. So I was a laborer, and I could only do a few things. So it was like one of my last days when I was working over there. And he hired a bunch of guys, a bunch of jamooks, to do some stuff. This guy showed up like the road warrior. He had a truck and he had a flatbed, and a big air compressor, and the guns and the saws, and he was such a tough guy, right? So anyway, I'm working with him. And he was a heavy-set kind of guy.
Yeah.
Which I have to add that because when we were working, using a nail gun, you really need to know and pay really close attention when you're using a pneumatic nail gun. An air gun, brad nailer, or you're putting in 12 penny nails into a stud, it's a gun,
Right.
and it can be lethal,
Right.
and it can really hurt you.
Sure.
And I have seen it many a time in framing, guys shooting themselves, putting a nail through their foot, a nail through their arm.
Yeah.
So this guy's working. I'm working on a garage, we're framing on a garage. I am 40 feet away on the far corner of the garage working. And this chachooch is way down the other side. He's framing out a window. And he goes to put one of the nails in just near the edge of the board.
Yeah.
He hit it right on the head, the edge of the pneumatic cylinder, so it shot back, it went back. He pulled the trigger, nail didn't even come close.